Hey guys, James here today and welcome back to another Sims 4 house building video. This one today is for a new Let's Play series that I'm starting on the channel in the coming days for the Sims 4 Parenthood game pack. So some of you may know the Super Sim challenge that I run here on the channel with my sim Max Power, and we all decided, me and you, the viewers, decided it'd be fun to do a prequel series on how Max became who he was, how he became so determined to be the best of that he possibly could be. So the idea for this series is that his parents are fairly freaky beatniks, if you will. And as you may see, based on their clothing choices in the game just there, they are actually based off of Ned Flanders' parents from The Simpsons, because Max Power, his name was also inspired from The Simpsons. So I thought, it only makes sense to sort of also, pluck some more inspiration from that. So his parents are these really quirky, really freaky beatnik style parents. And they have this really crazy house that is, I guess, really, really not suited for raising a child. And that's kind of the idea of the series. The whole idea of this Let's Play series is that they're going to basically be the worst parents possible, and Max is going to be raised with all the most negative outcomes on everything, or at least that's what I'm going to try and do. Whether that's possible, I don't know. I haven't played Parenthood yet, so we're going to find out, but we're going to try and be the worst parents we can be, and that all starts with a home. And we need somewhere to live. I didn't want it to be a regular home because they're not regular parents. And Max certainly has not lived a regular life. And I think, this will really help to explain the story behind him and how he became who he was. So I had a lot of fun with this one. Actually, I believe I searched just hippie house on Google Images. Let's see. Hippie house. Let's see. I think it's literally like the first image result for it. Yeah, it totally is. Like the very first result is one that I drew a lot of inspiration from. And you will see that coming through. Like I'm basically looking at the facade of that image and sort of drawing bits from that. And I'm basically sort of recreating the facade and then adding my own elements in. You'll even see like a lot of the stuff, if you do find the image online, you'll see a lot of the stuff is actually very similar in terms of the colors and certain aspects of it as well. I mean, I obviously couldn't copy it, piece of piece because some of the stuff just doesn't exist. The house I took this image from has a triangle window that just doesn't exist, unfortunately, so I couldn't use that. But it does have like a clock on the house for some reason. I was like, you know what, let's do a clock tower on this house because why not? I think the really cool thing about this as well, like I don't know if it's like this in the original real photo, but the way I imagined this house was like it was sort of pieced together over time. Like it was just extended here and there, putting a new room on later, putting a new room there, all just random different colors. Like that's kind of how I imagined it to be. So that's why it has so many different windows and colors and patterns, and it somehow all just works together. Like it all comes together. Even though you'd think you'd be a little bit of a mess. I mean, it is totally a bit of a mess. There was actually I believe it's the second image, if you search hippie house in Google Images, that kind of reminds me of, the second one kind of reminds me of like the Weasley's house from Harry Potter, or at least from the movies anyway. Where it's like that sort of really tall, like thin house that's just been extended over time. Like I thought a house like that could have been a lot of fun to build and play with as well, but I thought that'd be a bit too hard to like fit in the stairs and that, because unfortunately there's no like, if this game had like ladders in it or something, that would probably make it a lot easier to sort of work with, to do like thin, tall houses, which I really hope we do get ladders or some sort of just steeper staircase, kind of like that. That'd be really, really useful, so that we could do that. Because at the moment, to get stairs, a minimum you need like 5 squares, because you need the 4. Wait, is it 5 or is it 4? Maybe 4. 3 for the stairs and then 1 for the landing. So it's like, and 1 at the bottom as well. So you do actually, you do need 5 squares, because one square to get on the stairs, 3 squares for the stairs, and then 1 at the top. And it's just, you need a lot of room for stairs, so you can't have the house that small, and they take up a lot of space. So if we could get some ladders or some smaller stairs, that'd be great. So on the outside, we're going to be covering the house in lots of plants and decoration and wall decorations, and just loads and loads of things. And you'll see it just sort of getting covered in stuff as we go through this. And I think it ends up looking really, really cool. I had so much fun doing this. But I also, this is, actually, I'll talk a bit more about it when I get to it. But it was a was definitely a challenging build in one way. But anyway, so going around here, basically giving this really overgrown kind of look. It's supposed to, basically, the idea of the parents is they have this kind of crazy house. It looks kind of cool, but it's supposed to be, not very well kept. It just like pretty much a mess, like it might look on the surface quite nice, but then you get inside and you're like, oh, this place is dirty. And you can imagine it's like one of those places that just has a really musty kind of smell because it has no breeze, like no sort of air flowing through the house or anything. It's just like rank, stale air that's just unmoving and thick, and you're just like, oh, like that kind of house. That kind of house is what we're dealing with here. And those kind of parents, like obviously the parents are like very, I guess I gave them like traits that are basically very creative, and I think the father's lazy and all that, but we'll get into all of that kind of stuff in the Let's Play as well, which will be coming out in the next couple of days, as I mentioned. So do stick around for that, because that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be exploring the Parenthood game pack with that. But for now, we're making this stinky old home. Which, of course, you can download this on the gallery. The link is in the description down below if you want to download it, or you can just search for the Sim Supply on the gallery, and you'll be able to find my account there and download the house on that. I believe I just called it Quirky Home or Quirky House. One of the two. It'll be one of those. So you can go find it there. So just doing the layout now. And actually this is the second time I had to do the layout and the furnishing, because the first time I did it, I was going really well. I had done the kitchen, dining, and living space all furnished. It was looking great. And then my computer just decided to spaz out. Not just the Sims 4 game, like, I don't know, like my monitor's disconnected, and then when they reconnected, OBS crashed, and like my recording software crashed, and the game crashed, and I was just like, oh, that's disappointing. So I had to go back and redo a lot of it. But I guess, as disappointing as that is, whenever that happens, usually when you come back the second time, it's always better, because you're like, okay, I already did this. I can either do it quicker, or I can do it quicker, and usually I can do it better this time around because I already know what I kind of want to do. So that was kind of annoying, but we came back to it and all was well. So the idea for the interior is, like I said before, I imagine this house as, being expanded over time and just bits and pieces added on here and there. So I was like, okay, well, by that theory, there'd be loads of different flooring and wallpapering in all the different spaces. So even this kitchen area has like a cork floor and a wooden floorboard. Then the entrance has different wooden floors. And then the living room has different floors facing the other way as well. So it's just a complete mess. But I somehow think it just all works together, and it just creates this beautifully cluttered, disgusting home. Oh, I don't know if it's disgusting. I think it's quirky. It's flavorful. Disgusting is probably not the right term. I don't think it's disgusting because it's not actually dirty. Like, it doesn't actually look dirty or anything. It just has that sort of cluttered and lived-in vibe of mismatching floors and everything. So yeah, I wish there was more like dirty furniture and wallpaper, because they did add a few in City Living, where you had like the dirty carpet and a few items here and there, but it's not enough. I kind of wish you could just set items to be their dirty state, like, because counters can get dirty in the game, but you can't just make them dirty all the time. That'd be good. I made sure to make the floors all nice and messy with food just dropped everywhere. I just basically put every item that I could realistically in the kitchen that I thought would fit and make sense in this space, and just have all these little things here and there. And I got more plants with a beautifully bright red colored little ladder for them to sit on there. Nice little round dining table. None of the chairs match, of course. They're all completely different. So we got a few different chairs there. Just like, you could have just imagined they've just pulled them out of a trash heap somewhere, cleaned them up, put them in the house. I mean, one of them, that's like a homemade chair there, a really poorly homemade chair that they've just sort of whipped up and put together. So, yeah, I mean, they were fine with that. So this is a house for 2 adults and a toddler sim, because Max is a toddler in this Let's Play, so we had to obviously design it for him. So we do have a few toddler-based items around the place. Eventually, like, we'll get a high chair in just a moment. And then, yeah, we do have a lot of artsy things around the place as well, because like I said, the parents are quite artsy, and that's why they're really, I guess, carefree in a way, which we'll make sure to get that trait so they are carefree, so they really, really don't care about anything. That's the idea of them, is that really irresponsible parents that don't know how to raise a child. That's the idea. So, yeah, beautiful hallway there with some, like, it's just so many random items just everywhere that's just like, why in the world would you have this? And then in this living space, I thought this was quite cool. This rug here, well, this rug, I guess, kind of looks like it's been, maybe it's some painted thing that the parents had painted on the floor. They had fun one day and they just painted the living room floor with that. And it's just there now, it's just underneath all the furniture that we're going to be putting in later on. And then these painted benches from freaking City Living, is it? I don't know. I think they were from City Living. Those benches were perfect to put outside, just adding color like everywhere. Just more, because like we needed more color, that basically is what I'm saying. Like we needed more color. That's why I thought those benches were good. Just put a few more of those out there. And then the nice living room space. I think the living room's a little bit dirtier than the kitchen in terms of, not dirty, a little bit more drab than the kitchen. I think the kitchen space, while it's quite cluttered and I guess is dirty because there's food all over the place, I think it's probably the nicest room in the house in terms, I don't know, it just seems more inviting, even though it is really quite dirty. I don't know, this room just seems quite drab and enclosed and not the nicest place to be. But we've got a few toys on the floor for little baby Max there for him to enjoy. And a nice peach couch as well. Isn't that lovely? So just a side table there. I'm just trying to find quirky items to put around the place. Got a radiator there as well for some heating. Look at the window on the wall there. It's ridiculous thing. There's some vines coming through it, but let's not worry about that. And we have a little wash closet down here, just a toilet. Obviously, wash your hands somewhere else. I did try to fit a sink in there, but it just would not. There was just no way it was going to work, basically. Now, upstairs is quite small. There's not a lot of room. So we have like the double bedroom here, which is fairly cramped, and then a bathroom, and then Max's room, which Max's room is actually quite decent in terms of the size. It's just thin is the problem. So that's why I probably would have made the other room the double bedroom, but yeah, it was just too thin to fit anything in. Now this one, their bedroom, I was like, what do we do for this? It's going to be crazy. It's like some forest themed room with like this wooden bed and this bench in there and this, oh God, it's so weird. It's so, imagine going to someone's house and it was this place and you're just like, oh my God. Where am I right now? And we added some purple drapes because Ned Flanders all his life has wanted purple drapes. Obviously Ned Flanders is not in this, but the parents in this Let's Play are based off of his parents, but just plenty of Simpsons references. If that's your thing, then you're in the right place is all I'm going to say, because you're going to get a lot of them here. The bathroom, fairly gross as well. Not gross, just fairly drab, I guess. It's very yellow. And actually, the only place in the house that has cracks in the wall as well. The only place that I did that, because the rest of it wasn't feeling making it too cracked. Now, Max, the idea, I thought it would be fun. Like, I think the way I decided to furnish his room is I decided to give him everything that he needs. So it's actually got really nice toys and a toy chest. And I believe there's another... Did I put another toy chest downstairs? Maybe. I might have. I can't remember. So toy chest up here, got a dollhouse, so you can play with that. It's basically got everything that he needs, but the idea is that he has to take care of himself. Like, the parents just kind of leave him to do whatever, or when they do take care of him, they do the wrong thing. So it's like his room is actually pretty decent in terms of what you need and what he has, but the parents are just very unloving. And actually, you know what? They're not unloving. That's the wrong term. They're just not good. They're just not good at what they're doing. That's the way it is. So lots of little decorations around the place. Like they are caring, I think, because they've obviously painted all these things on his wall because the parents are very artsy. So they've taken care of him in one way, and they're caring, but they're just bad at their job. Is the problem. They don't know how to raise a child. So out the back here as well, because the father is actually he loves the outdoors and he wants to be a gardener. Like he wants to grow. I think that's what I set him as. I don't know, but I was like, let's get like a little veggie patch out the back so they can grow their own produce and all that. So that's the idea of that space there, and a little bird feeder, and just of course, if there's any house that's gonna have pink flamingos in the front lawn, it's this one. And we got a little bird feeder, and we just got all these little items here and there just around the place that I think fit in so well with this build. And then of course lots more shrubbery and flowers just to finish off the outside here, and then we're nearly done and good to go. So I didn't plant anything in the little garden yet because that's obviously something you have to do in gameplay, but that's where you would do it. So at least it's nice and fenced off, a nice little garden area there. But I think this house is pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. I had a lot of fun building it. I'm pretty excited to play with it as well, to see how it goes. And well, I'm excited for the Let's Play just because it's going to be a bit weird, I think. I'm going to have a bit of fun with it. And yeah, I didn't forget a bin. I didn't forget a sink. I didn't forget a bin inside or outside. Like, I mean, we remembered everything in this. It's pretty cool. Oh, there's our clock tower as well. Because why not have a clock tower on the house as well? So there is the beautiful house from the front. It is quite the character. It's quite a character build. I mean, if this is not something that you like, you're probably going to hate it. But if it's something that you're like, oh, that's kind of cool, then you might enjoy it. But yeah, there you go. So you can download this in the description down below. Click the link and that will take you to the gallery. You can save it to your game that way. Or like I said before, you can search for it on the Sims 4 gallery by searching the Sim Supply. And you can find my profile there, download it that way. But here is the interior, the entrance, the foyer, if you will, through to the kitchen. And I love how cluttered and mismatched and just crazy busy this kitchen is. Like, it's just so much stuff. I just really, like I said, that's my favorite room in the house. And then this one's quite nice as well, but it's definitely, you can see it's much more like, I guess much more dingy. But we have a nice bookcase, and Max has got a little tablet on the floor as well. Like, he has everything that he needs. Here's his bedroom upstairs as well. Like, that's quite nice. Like, it's not bad. Bathroom is fairly drab with a nice big crack on the wall there as well. And then here's the look at this room. Oh God. Oh, look at that room. And here are the little floor plan screenshots as well, so you can see how everything's laid out and how it all flows together there. But yeah, that is the Quirky house build. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was a lot of fun to do. Definitely something that is different from any of my other builds. But of course, if you do want to see my other builds, you can click on the screen now to watch the rest of them, or a recommended video, or subscribe, or visit my website. There's a lot of stuff you can do on the screen right now, which I would totally recommend. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time, and have an awesome day.